This about how you as an insurance agent and broker can generate more leads with AI and marketing automation. Basically, what I want to do is I want to talk about how you can make your life easier and eliminate some of the challenges that you're having with having people understand the benefits of insurance and closing more clients in the process. So, let me give you a little backstory of who I am. I am Jeff Bill, also known as Mr. Marketology. I am a marketing strategist. I work with the Marketology Group, and I help businesses grow by leveraging AI and marketing automation. So that's who I am. And the reason I wanted to reach out to you as an insurance agent or broker is because I saw the need for you to generate more business without spending a lot of time and money on unqualified leads. So that's the reason I've done this. So let me go ahead and identify some of the types of insurances out there. Of course, we know about auto insurance, health insurance, life insurance, travel insurance, whole life, term life, universal life. We've heard about all these terms, but the average person out there may not know what's involved with all the different types of insurances. They may look at insurance as just insurance is insurance. You're no different than any other insurance carrier out there. What's the price? And then become a little bit frustrated with what's offered after they've signed up for something. So as an insurance agent or broker, your job is to find the best fit for them when it comes to their insurance and find out how they can stay with you, not just sign on but also stay with you, because you are tied to them more than just a customer. I learned that a customer buys one time. A customer and a client are different. A customer buys a product or service as a one time type of purchase, right? Where a client is ongoing, and you want clients, you want something that's ongoing. So let's talk about some of the things that challenge you when selling insurance. So I call it the balloon. And I wish I could pull up this slide for you, but it's basically the balloon. Um, Buying leads costs so much. You're buying these leads from these lead vendors. They're charging you. I've heard of people spending $1,000, $2,000 a week on leads, and you're buying these leads. A lot of these lead vendors are giving you leads that are either older leads, or they're, to be transparent, they're selling you the lead, but they're also selling your competitors the same leads. So you're not the only one with these leads. Now, how are these leads coming in? The leads are coming in through a postcard somebody filled out, or a form somebody filled out online. They made a phone call, put in a code. These leads are coming in based off of that. And I'm going to be honest, from a consumer point of view, sometimes these techniques are a little elusive. You think that you're signing up for one thing, but when the person gives you a call, it's something completely different. So you're thrown off, and you're not in a good space when that person is talking to you about insurance, because you're thinking, that's not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for this. I signed up for something else when I sent that postcard in, or when I filled out that form. But you're calling me about something that is a bait and switch. So, buying leads from these lead vendors, you don't have control of what they told the people. You don't have control of the messaging. You don't know the interaction before. You don't know how many people called them before you did. And so you may not be getting the best result when it comes to that. All right. Now, the second thing, a lot of times you're spending time calling people that aren't interested. They're not interested at that time of what you have to offer. But you're spending your time smiling and dialing. You're calling all these people and trying to make them have interest that they don't have. And that is not a recipe for success. So a lot of times you're spending, mass amount of time and effort calling people that aren't interested. And I get it in sales; it's a numbers game, but you can make the numbers a little bit more in your favor. All right. Next, the leads, they're recycled. And, people are frustrated from hearing from not just you, but people like you. And I can speak from personal experience. I know when I moved into my new home, I have had at least 20 people in life insurance, and they call it mortgage insurance and so forth and so on, give me a call. And after the third or fourth one, and all of them say that they're my area's rep, they are my area's underwriter, they all say the same pitch. After a while, you get frustrated and you're tired of hearing from them. So the minute a person calls and say anything close to insurance, you're ready to hang up on them, or you're ready to turn them off completely. And that's not a position that you want to be in, as an agent or a broker. You don't want to be in that position to where a person doesn't want to hear from you, and it's not anything that you've done. It's because they've heard from so many other people that they are very frustrated by the time you call them. So, that's another challenge that you're facing. Also, you know, leads pretty much is shut off. Uh, uh, Leads are pretty much shut off from you, right? If you stop paying the vendors that are selling you the leads. So, as long as you're paying these vendors, you're getting these leads, you have to keep paying them to keep getting leads, right? And that brings up to the other factor, the one and done pitch, to where if you don't close them right then and there, usually you won't close them. It's not something that they'll call back 3 months from now and say, okay, I'm ready now. Usually if you don't close them that day, it's not going to happen, right? So that makes you buy more leads. You have to buy more leads because the leads that you had didn't purchase from you, and you're using a one and done strategy, right? So that's the next two things that are challenges for you. Another, leads may be outdated. I'm still getting calls from something that I put on 6 months ago or more. It's dated. And like I said, after being called by so many that are referring to the same thing that I put in once, I'm frustrated. It's old and outdated. If I went with somebody, I've already went with somebody. You know, you're just becoming more of a nuisance than an asset. And so you don't want to be that. You want to position yourself in a way that you are not being a nuisance. You want to position yourself in a way that you are being a blessing to somebody that you're calling, because they are interested and they've shown that they're interested right then and there in what you have. And then the last thing, you don't want to have a negative image in their eyes. You don't want to, salespeople already have a bad image. Insurance has a bad image in some cases. You don't want to put off a negative image because of the others in your industry. You don't want to put off a negative image because of the timing of when you actually contacted somebody. So you don't want to put off those negative images based off of things you cannot control. You want to be able to control, the image that you put off. All right. So here's some traditional ways of generating business. One, direct mailers. These are these postcards and these flyers that come into their mailbox, and the person fills out something. They send it back. You make a call. That's one way. Flyers and postcards, same type of thing. They see it, they call a number, go to a website, you give them a call. Networking event. You go into these networking events, you're talking to people, you're saying, hey, this is what I do. Here's my card. Let's set up a meeting. Another way. You're buying leads from these vendors. We've already talked about that. You're buying leads. They're doing the marketing. Usually it's either postcards or it's pay-per-click ads or it's SEO. They're generating these leads. They're reselling them to you. They're getting them at one cost. They're marking them up and they're selling them to you. You can do ads, whether it's ads on TV, ads on radio, ads in magazines, newspapers, social media, search engines. You're doing ads and you're paying for each lead that you get from these ads. There's SEO, that's organic. When they search for you in Google and Bing, do you come up? And if you come up, do they schedule a call with you? And then there's social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all these social media platforms. Are you leveraging social media to generate you business? So those are some ways that you can generate business. All right. So what's missing though? You're generating the business. But Alexa, stop. What's missing? Here's some things that are missing within your marketing campaign that if you tweak these small things, you can win. One, identifying who the right person would be that's ready to buy insurance. Instead of just calling people because they filled out something months ago or calling people that fit a demographic, these people you've identified are ready to buy insurance now. What we call our day ones. These aren't seasoned, they're day ones. They say they're ready now. All right. You need to also figure out a way to get in front of these leads when they're ready to buy. Not before they're ready, way after they're ready, after they've already bought, when they're ready to buy. So you need to know when they're ready to buy. You need to have those triggers in place. All right. Another thing, you need a way to have these leads raise their hand and let you know that they're ready to buy. So they let you know I'm at a place, and we can talk about some different ways to find out when they're ready. And then an effective way to capture them and schedule a time to have an appointment, not random phone calls out the blue. I mean, let's be honest. If I was to call you out the blue and say, hey, are you interested in marketing your business? My conversion levels are a lot lower because I may have caught you while you was busy, you was in a meeting, you was at lunch, you was with your family, whatever be the case. Timing might not been the best timing. And I'm calling you out the blue and blindsiding you basically. But if I've already found out that you're interested, you raised your hand, you let me know that you're interested, and you're ready to do business, I need to now find ways to capture that, have you schedule a time, and we sit down when we're both thinking about that particular thing. So now you've scheduled a time with me. I'm interested in getting insurance, and I now have sat down and put out a block of time to talk about that interest. Talk about insurance, nothing else. We're talking about that. So you need a system that can schedule it. And then you need a system to organize them, a CRM that will organize your leads as well as your current clients, and keep you efficient. So you're not just out here just randomly doing things. It keeps you on point, right? After that, you want to educate because, like I said, you might not have those one and dones. They may not be ready then, but they may not be off the table completely. So you want to keep them in the loop and educated. So when they are confident you are the person that they need to go with because you're keeping them educated over time. All right. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to have a way that you can have those leads easily do business with you. Don't make it difficult. Don't make the process real cumbersome and it's what do they call it? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's challenging. Make it easy for them to do business with you. So have that already lined up. All right. Then you want to also automate a lot of the evaluation process. You know, nothing worse than saying, okay, this is who I am, this is what I'm looking for, and then having somebody say, well, I need to get back with you in a couple of days and let you know. You know, you want a way that you can evaluate it quickly, you can evaluate it efficiently, and then give them the plan that you feel is best for them, the best fit for them, right? And you want a smooth system that you can close the deal. You don't want them to have to come to you and do all this thing. You want to have the system to where it's in place. It's very easy for them to just pull the trigger right then, close the deal right then, and move on. Right. And then after that, you want a good follow-up system. It's nothing worse than doing business with somebody that you put your life in their hands, right? Life insurance, I guess a little pun in that. But you've given them your trust, and then you never hear from them again. So you want a good follow-up system so they don't have buyer's remorse and they understand that they made the right decision. So now let's talk a little bit about how you can do this and how you can automate this. AI is one way that you can automate a lot of this process. All right. So looking at the challenges that you've had, you know, how can you automate a lot of this? So let's go down the list. Buying leads from vendors that are costly. Well, you can automate that with AI because AI can now identify the right audience at the right time, and they can put together ads for you. Not only identifying the audience, they can put together the ad, put together the message, and manage the ads for you and do all that in autopilot. You don't have to buy the leads from the vendors that are advertising and reselling it to you and your competitors. You can generate the leads for yourself and you have those leads, but you don't have to spend a lot of time managing ads. You don't have to spend a lot of time creating ads. You don't have to spend a lot of money trying to outsource it to other people to manage it for you. You can actually train your AI to do this for you. All right. The next thing, spending a whole lot of time on uninterested leads. Well, with this, that solves that because if you're advertising and they fill out the information, they're saying they're interested and they're saying they're interested right now. So this also eliminates that gap in time. These are day one leads. These are not seasoned leads where they've been contacted by a bunch of people. These are leads that have exclusively said that they're interested. They've raised their hand and said that they're interested. And if you have a good system in place, you can do their follow-up and you can go ahead and get them on the schedule and you can close that deal within a matter of not just days or weeks. You can even close them in a matter of hours. And if you're very good, minutes. You can literally have the AI let you know they're interested, they filled it out, they raised their hand. You can have a system put in play that does a good follow-up with them immediately, and some will get on the phone with you right then and there because they have stated that they're interested right then. All right. Another, they're frustrated. You know, they're frustrated because they're contacted by a bunch of other vendors. Well, they've already said they're interested in what you had to offer because they filled out the information. You've contacted them immediately or within a short period of time. So they're not frustrated from hearing from a lot of other vendors or a lot of other agents and brokers because you're the only one calling them. It's not being farmed out to you and 3 or 4 other people, you know, or 20 other people at that matter, right? And the one and done, you don't have to worry as much about the one and done because Now, as you're asking them the right questions, you're finding out what they're interested in. They're in your pipeline, they're in your system. And now you have a sequence of communication with them that you can now, if they're not ready right now, keep them educated until they're ready, but you're still at top of mind. You're still on their mind while they're making the decision. They might not be ready right today, but they may, after 2 or 3 weeks of getting information from you, state, hey, you are definitely the person I want to go with. Maybe they have some challenges. Maybe budget wise, right now is not a good time for them. Maybe they're waiting for a life event to happen first, and then after that. But you're still top of mind, so it's not a one and done. And then the negative image. If you conduct yourself professionally and your system is put into place correctly, you now look like somebody that's about your business, so they want to do business with you, versus somebody that's calling out the blue, doing a bunch of follow-up calls. Hey, are you ready to get this insurance? And pretty much pumping a bunch of fear. Oh, if you don't have insurance, it's better to have than not have, and so forth. And now a person's like, you're just trying to sell me, and you're trying to finagle me, and that never goes over well. So what does that look like when it comes to AI? Well, AI can not only identify your audience, not only can it craft your messages, not only can it go ahead and reach out to your prospects, it can also automate your scheduling and make sure that you don't double book. Make sure that it does the follow up, and people actually make the meetings. That's important. You don't want to schedule all these meetings and you're riding around town or you're making a bunch of phone calls and nobody's showing up. So it makes sure that happens. Then from there, you can have the meeting and it can actually do a summary and transcription of the meeting, so nobody has to worry about if they didn't take notes, what was said. Everything is documented. You can now look it over. You can highlight the pain points. You can highlight the benefits. You can let them know this is why this is a good idea. Like I said, everybody's not going to be a one and done. So you can say, based on this, what you said, this is some more information about that, or this is how this can benefit you, right? So it'll help you with that follow-up communication. And then also, the next step would be that follow up. You follow up with the evaluation. You follow up with here are your different options. You follow up with why it makes sense to do business with me and have me represent you versus you doing business with somebody else, 101 other agents and brokers that are out there. Because the one thing that you got to consider, or I would recommend you consider, would be they can buy from any and everybody, but the reason they buy from you is because they like what you offer and how you offer it. They buy into you, not into the policy. There's other agents and brokers that can give policies out there. They can run the numbers and run the different companies that provide it from a lot of different other vendors out there, right? A lot of different agents and brokers out there. But they do business with you because they like how you do business. They like you. They like your personality. And you can't do that if you're just doing a simple one-time phone call, pitch, are you ready to buy? And maybe a couple of follow-ups to where I'm just following up and saying, seeing if you're ready to buy now. So that's one thing that you don't want to put yourself into. You want to be a service to them, a blessing to them, a resource for them, that they're saying, okay, this person is really looking out for me. They care about me, and they have a system that communicates with me without putting me into any type of pressure situations, challenges. They look like if I needed them, I can contact them. They will be professional. Nothing's worse than having an agent that you work with, and they are so unprofessional with closing you that you know that once they close you, you probably will never hear from them again. So you want your AI to put in the type of messaging that's a great follow-up messaging. And then you want to combine that with automation to where they know that, hey, they care. They are going to keep in contact with me. They keep me informed. One thing that I found is once you sign, a lot of times you find out about all of the different options and all of the different things that come up in the industry outside of the person that you sign with. So there's nothing worse than having an insurance policy and finding out you can do other things with your insurance policy, or you should probably switch your insurance policy or modify it, upgrade it to this particular aspect of the policy from an outside source that isn't even in the industry. And you have an agent, and you're like, why didn't you tell me about that? Well, it makes the customer or the client feel as if you cashed the check, you don't care anymore. So, how am I going to, first of all, want you to represent me? Second of all, and most importantly of all, refer you to anybody else, because I'm going to let them know with the referral, you won't hear from them after the sale. So, in order to eliminate that, you leverage your AI and you leverage your automation to keep the communication going, to send out the birthday cards, birthday shout outs on social, send out the congratulations to big events, send out the just keeping me in mind, keeping you in mind type of communication. But you want to make that experience more of a personal experience so they'll want to do business with you even more. So that's the benefits of setting this up. Now, what encompass a good AI based marketing automation system? All right, the first thing would be training your AI to understand your business, to identify your audience, and to understand their pain points and craft the benefits and the messaging around the benefits to those pain points. That's the first thing. Second, how do you get in front of them? Where do you go to get in front of them? And then leveraging AI to actually automate that. Like I said, with buying leads. If you wanted to pay for advertisement on Facebook, you can literally have AI create the ads for you, manage the ads for you. So it will do it for you. But that's one aspect of it. If you want to leverage email marketing, you can have AI write the emails for you, schedule the emails for you, move people within lists for you. You can have all that automated for you. Now that you're generating the leads, you can even have AI create your website if you don't have a website. Write the copy for your website, write articles that you want to publish and push out. So it can do all of that. The next phase, we talked about the next phase, which was you need to be able to capture the lead. So that can be a funnel, that can be a chat bot, that can be a type form. It can be several ways you can capture the leads. You can even capture the leads as simple as a text message that they click a link and put in their information there. So you want to figure out how you want to capture the lead. Well, you can capture the lead. You can have AI help you figure out the best ways to capture the lead. You can also have it construct the actual lead capturing mechanism, put it in place, you capture the lead. Next thing, and very important thing, the appointment scheduling process. You want them to schedule an appointment with you. You can have AI basically help you to coordinate the best time to schedule with them. So you coordinate the schedule, go ahead and set the appointment. From setting the appointment, do the follow-up notifications to let everybody know that they're confirmed for it, do the follow-ups to let everybody know that the meeting's coming up. Then you can have AI in on the conversation to record the conversation, to actually highlight and summarize the conversation, giving both of you a good overview and good notes, key points that were said in that particular meeting. That if you close them, you can follow up and say, this is our next course of action based on what we talked about. If you didn't close them, based on what we talked about, these are the next step that I would recommend. Let's keep in touch over this time period. And you can have AI actually automate that continual conversation, right? So the next thing after that, meeting's been held, the follow-up. The follow-up would be, well, let me back up, evaluation. You want to evaluate what process, what policy will be best for them. You can actually have AI drive that to do the evaluation for you, and give that back to you within minutes, not taking days to get back that information. And then after you had the meeting, you set the expectations or the follow up, you can have AI actually craft the messaging, craft the follow up sequence, send out the follow ups to them, also notify you and your team on the next actions you may need to take with following up with them, whether you may need to make a phone call with them or an email or a text message. But it can automate all of that for you. And if you need to actually physically get involved, it can help be a manager, an assistant for you that can let you know you need to contact these people because they're in this particular phase of your sales cycle. And so that can be done and automated all through AI, all through training that AI automation. And then with that, now you have your time back. Now you have a machine that works for you. Now, if let's say you don't close a day one and it's 3-4 months down the line, you are reaching out to them in a way that makes sense versus a way that so many have done before where it's just out the blue. Why are you calling me? I don't understand. I didn't fill out something recently, because remember, people don't have long attention spans nowadays. So if they filled out a card or a form 6 months ago, they are not going to remember that. And so if you called, they don't remember that they filled that out. Or if they do remember, why did it take you so long to get back in contact with me? So you have this all set up. You have the different scenarios set up, and everything works as a machine. So, I wanted to bring this to you. I don't want to make this a long live. Setting up a system like that is something that me and my team can do for you. But one thing that I would recommend is just to reach out to me. I can give you a resource that you can uh, be on one of three different ways of growing your business. One, training. I can provide you training where you can learn how to generate your own leads at a very low cost, how to set up your own system, and you can take that system with you and start growing your business from there. Two, I can put you in a one of our small group cohorts where we help you do it with you. We sit there and we say, okay, within this particular 6-week program, we are going to walk you through how to set up your automated system, how to program your AI, how to set up the automation, how to put it all into play. And then, of course, 3, we can talk about actually doing it for you. And we can set up that to where you just let us know what your goals are. We set it all up for you, and then you just go with it from there. But this is a system that once it's set up, all you need to do from that point is just feed the machine. You're just now pulling in leads and feeding the machine. They go through the process. Everything is scheduled. It's funny. It's what makes McDonald's McDonald's. It's not the food. It's the process. And with that process, the food's coming out the same way, the same time, every single time. And so you want to put together a process, a system, a machine that works the same way every single time. And there's no variations. So if this is something that you're interested in, you're tired of spending a lot of money on leads, you're tired of calling people and getting, cursed out or hung up on or frustrated because they don't know what you're talking about. You're tired of spinning your wheels and spending a lot of time and effort, and you want a system that's just automated, that's sort of a set it and forget it. I don't want to say set it and forget it. You will have to feed the machine. You will have to take the meetings. You will have to, take the calls and close the deals. But it makes that process a lot easier. Then feel free to reach out to me. I'm on social as Mr. Marketology on social. Also, I am on LinkedIn as Jeff Bill. So it's uh, linkedin.com/in/Jeff Beal. That's BEALE. Or you can reach out just at mrmarketology.com and set up a free actual assessment. So if you set up a free assessment, I will go through, we can talk through your business and find out the best things for you to set up this AI automated system. And then we'll go from there. So thanks for spending a little time with me today. I wish you the best of success with your business. And hopefully we'll be talking soon. Want to definitely help you to generate more business for your insurance business, and automate that process so you're not spending a bunch of time and money doing so.